inside SpaceX Texas rocket factory. You might be thinking that Elon Musk's next generation spacecraft factory is a sparkling marvel of ultra-modern manufacturing sophistication, right? Well, that is actually not the case. In reality, it's a fragile temporary structure with a trailer park on the premises and also no running water. Then how does it operate? Well, keep watching the video watch us as we take you on the inside of SpaceX Boca Chica rocket factory. SpaceX's day job involves launching profitable business cargoes into the orbit for a variety of private companies and government agencies, using rockets built at the company's Hawthorne office in the suburbs of Los Angeles. By all accounts, that portion of the organization is running smoothly. But Elon Musk has more important things to do, as we know. On several occasions he stated, "We are aiming to construct a huge fleet in order to make Mars habitable." Why is that? To make life multiplanetary, a major step forward towards spacecraft development will be required. That's the Starship that is now being tested at SpaceX's long-suffering South Texas launch pad, with varied results. However, one spacecraft will not be enough to effectively colonize Mars. I believe we will need the order of 1,000 ships, each with a payload greater than that of the Saturn V and the ability to be reused. According to Musk, the SpaceX CEO has set an ambitious long-term goal of operating 3 spaceship missions a day, each carrying 100 tons of cargo and travelers to and from Mars. For the time being, Musk's short-term goal is to build either 1 or 2 Starships per week while keeping manufacturing costs to a minimum of $5 million each ship. Elon Musk needs a production line, something that he is familiar with from its famously grueling experience upgrading Tesla's commercial base a few years ago. Production is at least 1,000 times more difficult than producing one of something he enjoys grinding. If you are just looking to manufacture one of something, the engineering team can do it all for you. However, if you want to manufacture something in a respectable quantity, you'll need to create a device that makes the machine, which will be far more sophisticated mathematically than that of the machine itself. So how's it going so far? For the time being, things are going well. With Starship, the strategy was to validate many prototypes quickly to fine-tune the layout and get it right quicker. As Musk says, if you have a high production rate, you'll have a lot of iterations to walk through, and you'll be able to progress from one to the next. Producing Starships at Hawthorne might make this impossible, or at the very least extremely slow, as the cross-country drive from California to the Texas coast would contribute an unacceptable amount of time to each launch. Not to consider the fact that the Starship is too large to get produced under bridges, so the Starship production facility is just a short drive down Highway 4 in Boca Chica, sleepy South Texas enclave. Aerial photographs of the production site taken just a few years ago demonstrate how quickly the factory has grown. Some of Elon Musk's biggest concerns about scaling up Tesla were alleviated when he realized how quickly and cheaply manufacturing capacity could be enhanced by simply erecting large tents to evaluate in production. Tents have the benefit of being simple to set up and inexpensive. They also don't necessitate a lot of time-consuming, energy-draining involvement with local authorities. Fast tents are the way to go if you had like to produce a large structure quickly. Anyone will tell you that. What operates for vehicles, however, may not operate for space rockets. The main and largest production tents in Boca Chica, regarded as number 1 as well as number 2, are where all the stainless steel rings from the visible fusor as well as the bulkhead dopes are being largely assembled. These tents are long enough on their own but not high enough from the floor to the roof. So the SpaceX geniuses came up with the brilliant idea of taking up their tent on the top of a deck of shipping containers. It's true, and as obnoxious as that may sound, it does make sense. Shipping containers like tents do not require formal planning, authorization or foundations. They are simple to rearrange. They are heavy enough to transport to convenient and windy locations like Boca Chica, and they are used as storage or offices. Another nearby large tent with an onion-shaped end is used to assemble the rocket rivets and is said to be supported by 2 phases of shipping crates rather than 1. The tents are simply there to keep the elements out and inquisitive eyes out. Welding with gas frequently necessitates the installation of a protective enclosure. If not, the ensuing welds will be weak, putting the rocket at risk. The hydraulic press factory tent will often have been passed through it before completing those long production 10S Starships portions on site. Inside, experts bent stainless steel either 301 or 304 plates to create the crucial fuel tank domes. According to reports, water cutting is utilized to trim steel here, and this presents a problem. The community has been out of reliable running water. As a result, SpaceX has built its shortage tanks on the site. One of them is a fun upcycle of the SN2 prototype rocket, which was abandoned a long time ago. The pipework and plumbing serve the Starship Raptor engines as well as the engines themselves, and are assembled and tested at the so-called propulsion building. For the time being, routers are still manufactured in Hawthorne, California. Ground fabrication, as it is known among SpaceX fans, is a structure that constructs mission elements that are intended to remain on the ground. Taking into account the launch scaffoldings, the majority of the launch mounts the rockets which will sit on before blasting off. There are 3 vertical manufacturing bays for protecting the vertical construction of rockets, which are known to be the tallest structures on the site. The smallest structure, called Low Bay or affectionately Iron Hand by long-term Boca Chica watches, was created as a wide break for construction of the early Mark I prototype and is seldom used these days. The midway was once the highest bay and can hold 2 prototypes at a time for staking before they are transferred to the high bay. The current high bay at 80 meters tall dominates the skyline and is where all finished prototypes roll out from at present. Elon Musk has jokingly suggested that one day he would like to put a bar up there with a glass floor so punters could look down on the futuristic construction taking place beneath their feet. When one Twitter user noted that a temporary staircase up to the roof of the high bay was being dismantled, Musk remarked that from now on, workers would use a catapult and air mattresses to land on the roof than jump off. Well, if anybody can do it. On the site, there is also a branch of University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, which is housed at the Stargate Technology Center. SpaceX hopes to develop local talent without having to convince smart cookies to relocate to rural South Texas. SpaceX's decision to partner well with the prestigious University of Texas is indeed a smart political play. By the way, if they want to keep blowing things up, they'll need to collect all the public goodwill they can get. The answer to iterating quickly and scaling up production, according to Musk, is a talented crew and well-established workflows with plenty of opportunities for feedback and creativity. For example, the Fuser largest Starship stainless steel barrel manufacturing rate has been 2 barrels per day. However, the goal is to establish a production rate of 4 barrels per day. Remember, each barrel puts us a bit closer to Mars. Musk's time at Tesla also taught him good industrial management methods, such as delivering free hot launches to workers. Not to mention, there's a lot of amazing innovation going on. For example, in the novel Knuckles Seema, the welding process is used to manufacture the fuel domes, which combines artificial intelligence with a shielded X-ray scan to check for flaws. This new Boca Chica procedure has transformed an all-day work into a routine schedule that can be completed in a matter of hours and is demanded by the corporate culture. Elon Musk has the financial means to hire, and he appears to welcome employees recommending relatives and friends for jobs at the plant. Workers follow a 3 days on, 4 days off rota system, typically staying in special RV sites in the high base schedule. Musk's hands-on style, on the other hand, means he is content with making his personal decisions even if they result in catastrophic failures. There's a lot of room for forgiveness, and he is someone who never gives up on his ambitions. If you pass the buck to him, he stated that there will be no mercy if you do not comply and that the facility will undoubtedly expand in the future. It's most likely to enlarge the moment you watch this video. However, because of the area's location upon the Gulf of Mexico, the existing fragile structures may be forced to withstand hurricanes, which may become more common as climate change takes effect. Elon Musk would prefer to swiftly establish a low-cost construction than reconstruct in a crisis rather than start investing in a decade-long traditional build because it is faster and efficient. In a nutshell, that is indeed his plan for going to Mars. So what do you think about the Texas factory? Do you think this factory would aid in the production rate of rockets? Let us know your opinion down in the comment section below. And before you leave, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Take care and I will see you in the next video.